sun was blazing. The water was sparkling. Life was good. The golden sands stretched out endlessly, inviting everyone to bask in the warmth. The gentle waves lapped at the shore, creating a soothing symphony that was music to my ears. The sky was a perfect shade of blue with not a cloud in sight. It was the kind of day that made you forget all your worries and just live in the moment. I, Rob, was finally on vacation in Corfu. No more homework, no more chores. The moment I stepped off the plane, I felt a wave of relief wash over me. The stress of school and the monotony of daily life melted away. I was ready to embrace the freedom and adventure that awaited me. The resort was a paradise, with palm trees swaying gently in the breeze and the scent of the ocean filling the air. I couldn't wait to dive into the crystal clear waters and explore everything this beautiful island had to offer. Just endless days of swimming, sunbathing, and playing petanque with my family. We spent hours splashing around in the sea, feeling the cool water refresh our sun-kissed skin. When we weren't swimming, we were lounging on the beach, soaking up the sun and enjoying each other's company. Petanque became our favorite pastime, and we played it every chance we got. The friendly competition brought us closer together, and we laughed and cheered as we tried to outdo each other. My older brothers, Joe and Dan, were off doing their own thing most of the time. They were always on the lookout for new adventures and exciting activities. Whether it was exploring hidden coves, trying out water sports, or simply hanging out with new friends they met at the resort, they were always busy. I didn't mind, though. It gave me the chance to spend more quality time with my parents and enjoy the simple pleasures of our vacation. They were too cool for family fun. Joe and Dan thought they were too old to hang out with their little brother and parents. They preferred the thrill of independence and the excitement of discovering new places on their own. I understood their need for freedom, but sometimes I wished they would join us for a game of petanque or a family swim. Still, I made the most of my time with them whenever they were around. That meant I got to beat my parents at petanque without their usual annoying comments. Without Joe and Dan's constant teasing and competitive spirit, I had a better chance of winning. My parents were good sports, and they always encouraged me to do my best. Every victory felt sweeter, knowing that I had earned it fair and square. The look of pride on their faces when I scored a point was priceless. "That's game, losers!" I yelled, feeling triumphant. The thrill of victory coursed through me as I celebrated my win. My parents couldn't help but laugh at my exuberance. It was all in good fun, and they were happy to see me enjoying myself. These moments of joy and laughter were what made our vacation truly special. Mom just shook her head and laughed. Dad groaned. This was the life. We were all so happy, so carefree. The days seemed to blend into one another, each one filled with new adventures and cherished memories. We explored the island, tried delicious local cuisine, and made friends with other vacationers. Every evening, we would gather on the beach to watch the sunset, marveling at the breathtaking colors that painted the sky. Little did I know, my perfect vacation was about to take a turn for the worse. As the days went by, I started to notice subtle changes. The weather became unpredictable, with sudden storms disrupting our plans. There was an air of tension that I couldn't quite put my finger on. It was as if the island itself was trying to warn us of something. My carefree days were numbered, and I had no idea what was coming next. It started subtly. A giggle here, a whisper there. At first, I thought it was just the usual sounds of a busy hotel pool. Kids playing, families chatting, the occasional splash. But then I began to notice a pattern. The giggles and whispers seemed to follow me, almost like an echo that I couldn't shake off. Then, everywhere I looked, there she was, Hattie. It was as if she had some sort of radar that could detect my every move. Whether I was lounging by the pool, grabbing a snack at the hotel cafe, or even just walking through the lobby, Hattie was always there, her eyes lighting up the moment she spotted me. Hattie was a girl from our hotel. She seemed to be on vacation with her family, just like I was. But unlike me, she had an uncanny ability to be everywhere at once. It was almost as if she had clones of herself scattered around the hotel, each one programmed to find me. She had frizzy red hair, braces, and an unfortunately loud laugh. You could hear her from a mile away, and once you did, you knew she was coming. Her laugh was like a siren, announcing her arrival long before she actually appeared. And when she did, there was no mistaking her. She was distinctive, to say the least. She also seemed to think we were best friends. It was a one-sided friendship, to say the least. I barely knew her, but she acted like we had been inseparable for years. She would tell me about her day, her plans, her thoughts, and I would just nod along. unsure of how to respond.
"Hi, Rob," she'd shriek, hopping up next to me at the pool. Her voice was always filled with such enthusiasm, as if seeing me was the highlight of her day. It was hard to match her energy, especially when all I wanted was some peace and quiet.
"Oh, hey, Hattie," I'd mumble, trying to disappear under my towel. I hoped that maybe, just maybe, she would take the hint and leave me alone. But Hattie was persistent. She had a way of making herself at home no matter where she was or who she was with. It was no use. Hattie was like a fly drawn to, well, me, I guess. No matter how much I tried to avoid her, she always found a way to be right there, buzzing around me with her endless chatter and infectious laugh. It was both endearing and exhausting, and things were about to get a whole lot worse. Little did I know Hattie had a plan that would involve me in ways I couldn't even imagine. As I sat there trying to enjoy my vacation, I had no idea that my peaceful days by the pool were numbered. Hattie was about to turn my world upside down, and there was nothing I could do to stop it. My brothers, Joe and Dan, were experts at making my life miserable, so naturally they thought Hattie's sudden obsession with me was hilarious.
"Looks like you've got a girlfriend, Robbie," Joe would snicker, elbowing me in the ribs. "Our little brother has found love."
"Yeah, Romo, you two make such a cute couple." Dan would chime in.
Their constant teasing only made things worse. Hattie seemed to think their jokes meant Joe and Dan approved of us. As if. One night, disaster struck. We were having dinner at the hotel restaurant. My parents were off getting drinks, and Joe and Dan had, surprise, surprise, disappeared. Hattie saw her chance. She dragged a chair over to my table and plopped down next to me.
"Isn't this romantic?" she sighed, batting her eyelashes.
I choked on my breadstick. Romantic? This was a nightmare. Before I could escape, my parents returned. The look on my dad's face was priceless. "Well, well, well," he chuckled. "Looks like someone's got a date." As the dinner continued, a man with a violin walked up to the table, playing a romantic song. He handed Hattie and me a rose. Joe and Dan laughed.
"Our little brother is having a holiday romance," Joe said.
"You two make a cute couple," Dan added.
The next day, the hotel hosted a karaoke night. It was supposed to be a fun, light-hearted event for all the guests to enjoy. The lobby was decorated with colorful lights, and a small stage was set up with a karaoke machine and a microphone. The sign for the event promised an evening of laughter and music. I should have known better than to go, but my mom insisted. She thought it would be a great way for the family to bond and have some fun. Big mistake. As soon as we arrived, I had a sinking feeling in my stomach. The lobby was packed with people, all eager to showcase their singing talents or lack thereof. Hattie was, of course, the first one to sign up. She practically sprinted to the registration table, her excitement palpable. She loved singing and had been looking forward to this event all week. I, on the other hand, was dreading it. I knew what was coming, and guess who she wanted to be her duet partner? Yep, you guessed it, me. She pointed at me with a big grin on her face, and before I could protest, she was dragging me towards the stage. I tried to resist, but Hattie was determined. If you guessed me, you'd be right. I had no choice but to go along with it. The look of resignation on my face must have been priceless. I could already hear my brother snickering in the background.
"Come on, Rob, let's sing our song," Hattie said, her enthusiasm unwavering. She was practically bouncing with excitement while I felt like I was walking to my doom.
Our song? I thought to myself. What song could she possibly be talking about? Then it hit me. She meant the cheesy love ballad she decided was our song. The one she played on repeat whenever we were in the car together. The one I couldn't stand. She meant the cheesy love ballad she decided was our song. The one with the overly dramatic lyrics and the sappy melody. I could feel my face turning red just thinking about it. I wanted to crawl under the stage and die. The thought of singing that song in front of all these people was mortifying. I could already see the looks of pity and amusement on their faces. My brothers, naturally, were in the front row, filming the whole debacle on their phones. They were loving every second of my humiliation. I knew this video would be making the rounds on social media before the night was over. I took a deep breath and tried to muster up some courage. This was going to be a long night. I thought things couldn't get any worse. I was wrong. The next day, we went to the beach. Joe and Dan, for once, were planning to join us. Maybe, just maybe, I thought I could finally have a normal day. I should have known better. As soon as we spread out our towels, a shadow fell over me.
"Hi, Rob."
She sat down on my towel right between me and Joe. Joe and Dan exchanged evil grins.
Go on, put your arm around her.
Yeah, put your arm around your girlfriend and I will take a photo of you two lovebirds.
Hattie put her arm around me. Dan took a photo. This was going to be a long day. My parents decided to book a day trip to a nearby island. Maybe, just maybe, I thought, I could escape Hattie. I should have known better. As we boarded the boat, who should be waiting but Hattie and her entire family? Her mom rushed over, a camera in hand.
Let's get a picture of you two lovebirds.
Lovebirds? Was everyone on this island delusional? The final straw came on our last night in Corfu. The hotel was hosting a farewell disco. I begged my parents to let me stay in our room. No dice.
Don't be silly, Rob. Go have some fun.
Fun? With Hattie lurking around every corner? I didn't think so. And of course, I was right. Hattie dragged me out to the dance floor, where she proceeded to step on my feet and sing along, badly, to every song. This vacation couldn't end soon enough. Finally, after what felt like a lifetime, my holiday had came to an end. I had never been so happy to pack a suitcase in my life. As we were boarding the bus, Hattie came to say goodbye and give me a hug. I waved goodbye to Hattie and her family, hoping I'd never see them again. I sat on the bus and was so relieved.
Don't worry, buddy, you will be seeing plenty of her.
Joe said, grinning mischievously. I brushed it off, just thinking he was trying to tease me. The flight home was blissfully Hattie-free. I even managed to enjoy the airplane food. Maybe, just maybe, this whole nightmare was finally over. I was wrong. So very, very wrong. When we pulled up to our house, I noticed a moving van parked across the street.
Who's that?
I asked, feeling a strange sense of dread. My parents exchanged a look.
Well, Rob, remember Hattie?
My blood ran cold.
Yes, they just bought the house across the street.
It couldn't be true. It just couldn't be. My worst nightmare had come true. Hattie, my vacation stalker, was now my neighbor. This was not how my summer vacation was supposed to end. As I watched Hattie and her family unload boxes, I knew one thing for sure. My life would never be the same.
Help!